This is the site for the 6 meter by 3 meter polytunnel I'm going to build. That stump is on the way, so I'm going to cut it. We're using an axe. And I've done some of it. I will completely remove it. Then I can extend the last half meter of it. Okay, hallelujah. Now I have felled the tree. Quite nice, hard. It probably was an ivy or some yew tree, sorry, yew tree. Very tough, but with the axe whacking it and saw finishing it, the end result is there. The longer the saw is, the better. So easy. I wish I had a 1.5 meter one. This is, I think, 90 centimeter. Okay, building this framework of the polytunnel took only 2 hours. Very easy job, but I had to strengthen it up, and because there are 2 different materials, and I find that it's not easy to drill into these things. So I just drill into the wood and connect them with a wire and a cable tie. So it's quite strong. And I use pins, driving pins into the ground. See, these are road pins. Very versatile equipment. So everything is, those pins they give you, those tiny ones, they are weak. They're not good for anything. So you have to use proper pins. And then I use everything that I had. Also use this wiring fence, wiring net that I had. Then the wiring net, chicken net that cover came with this. Then I'm going now to put polytunnel, which is a kind of gazebo sheet. It goes 2 meters from this side, 4 meters from this side to this side, 6 meters from this side to this side. So hopefully it will be covered, all of this. We will see anyway. And that's how it is at the moment. And of course, at this will come the net, the actual cover polythene comes up to here probably. Then from here to here, I will use some green netting that I have, and that will be just giving also ventilation. So far, it looks like this. And this is the green the polythene I got from China, and this is the actual polythene. Now I have removed it, and this is the material. 450 grams, I think, per square meter or inch or feet, something like that. This is the thickest you can buy so far. And it comes with some ropes and inside the seams, so, and the hoops and the holes here that you can attach. I will use a combination of the bungee elastic bands and some cable tie to attach it. I'll put it in the sun to get a little bit soft, and then I will open it. But first I'm going to, there's maybe some sharp points here and there, just look around with the saw iron file and just smoothen it up a little bit. Now we have the polytunnel on it, and if you want to know how we actually covered it, you cannot climb this. It's impossible. So what you can do, attach a rope to this side and attach it to a stick and throw it on the other side like a spear, and then pull it up. So in 3 points is enough. So one is here, the other one is here, and the other one is there. And the Buddha bit is here. So when it is all done, I will cut, of course, this extra bits. At the moment I'm not doing it because I want to make sure it's tight enough. With my golden helper. Now we had the wood chip beside her for all of that. The polytunnel almost finished. These two parts here and that part, two parts on the end. And these are the compost we'll be using. And behind it are the cardboard, so I have to remove the sellotapes. And then this is the rest of that cover that I want to cover those parts that I showed. Compost is now rare to find. I went to the local recycling center, no compost. Why? I asked. And they said there is no plastic bag. I asked why. You had it every year. I thought no. It's because of the war, there is no petrochemicals coming. So these are the Irish ones from last year, probably. These are the Irish compost from last year. And I made sure that these are not the with the herbicide and pesticide. And, so hopefully I will test it also with the broad bean just to see if it grows. Broad bean is a very good test of how glyphosate exists. Does it exist or not? We will see. Okay, at the end also closed. It has enough holes that the ventilation happens. I will put a net on the door also. This is the compost I've laid on over the cardboard. And now I'm doing the pathways with this wood chip that I have from the several years ago. They've been chopping some trees and asked for the wood chip to be given to me, and the tree surgeons happily donated it to us, gave it to us, because it means it will save them the trip to the tip. So we have it now here, and it has the worms and useful fungi, so pathways will be also somewhere that the roots of the tomatoes can go through. And this is the oak wood chip, so I expect that some mushroom probably will grow through them. I don't know. They're very good for fungi. The fungi provides the what is called as the internet of the soil, and the roots of the plant will be very strong, which is useful for tomatoes. Okay, now I have created a pathway. This wood chip, which is an oak wood chip, had lots of fungi over the 2 years grown into it, so really rich for the rooting of the tomato plants, and I'm really glad with that. Okay, the full polytunnel is finished. The only thing remaining is the net on the door, which I will do later. At the moment I don't want that. And the compost and the cardboards are there. Since I added the polythene, it's quite heavy and the structure is very solid. The polythene itself is around 18 kilograms, so it's very solid. And that last one is around, I think that is 20, that is 4 kilograms of the end part. So that is 22 kilograms. So quite heavy and holding things down. Otherwise it would not be that strong. So I did it just for this purpose. Now I'm going to bring the tomatoes and plants that I need to plant here. So now I'm putting the aubergines at the end. Peppers also at the end where it's protected from the cold. And then all the tomatoes. Some of it is from our own seeds, some of it is from the commercially bought. So we didn't have expectation that we will be able to make the polytunnel so quick. No, so I have to buy some plants and put it there. So we'll see how it will do. Okay, now I have planted the Sungold F1 tomatoes in the central row. Distance between them in a zigzag way is 60 centimeter between here and there, and between here and there about 80 centimeter. So they have an optimum spacing between them. And also I planted some aubergine. Distance between them is 50 to 60 centimeter, 55. And also the peppers, the same, 50 to 60 centimeter apart. And I have watered them, and we will see how it is. Okay, now you can see that I have decided to actually put a clear plastic like the rest of it. So I had to add this wooden frame to it. And because we had some cold nights, that with the stapler stapled them to them, and 2 screws for each side so they'll move. And because we had cold nights, and it's warm here. Oh, I bought a thermometer. It comes later, but when I came in, it's warm here. Outside is cold. It's warm here. For the test of it, that it lasted the night, I have some basil here that we will see how it's done. This is the basil. Basil needs a temperature of 23 degrees. And this is the basil. I got a basil from the shop directly and put it in the ground. The cheapest one you can get. So I'm waiting for my twine, gardening twine, those little ropes that you can attach to the tomatoes and put them on the, raise them, attach them to the roof. So I have to reiterate what I've done here again. So cable ties will go in the June when it is hot enough that I can actually pull this back again, tighten it up, the cable tie, and then I will cut the tails of it, the rest of them. What is important, this they sell it as a chicken run or cat run, but they are not very strong. These frames are not very strong. They shake easily. So what you have to do is to brace it. And bracing on this I've done. I couldn't reach there with the drill and just safely drill the hole around. Also the drill will wobble and will not be able. It would have taken more than 2 hours that I did. But I used the drill to drill into the wood and pass the cable tie through that, and also a wire, and tighten it up like that. So I see that you can see here there are several braces here, 6 this side and 2 this side. And I use extra because there is a joint here. That joint is a source of weakness. Again, I used another piece of wood here to strengthen it. For the lateral strength and the shear strength, I use this timber that I had. It's all free, scrap wood that I had. So again, cable and wire and corner to corner joint. I had metal pieces that I used also, corner to corner joint. And this is the material about, probably, yeah, that's 22 pounds I paid for each of these panels. 23 centimeters, 120 centimeter, and they're good. I used the rest of the polytunnel that I had. This is 6 meters from this end, this polytunnel. So this polytunnel is sold for the gazebo, and from this side to this side, 6 meters. From this side, as you see that rope, to this side is 4 meters. So the edges also are exposed. I changed my mind, didn't use the net here. The net is there. I may decide in future if I want to change it, I can, but I used another polythene cover that is 5 meter by 4 meter, and I cut it in 4 pieces. So one piece and another piece. They are 1 meter each width of it, and the length is 4 meters, so they almost go 5 meters. They go almost there. And they had a 2 meter one for gazebo that I didn't use, so I used it to completely cover the end. So that is done now, and it's quite warm inside. To give it extra strength, I used also these wires. There's a fencing wire you can use, fencing they use in the farms, and this wire came with a chicken run, so I used it again. They gave it really sturdy, strong thing. I use canes here to join the sides, although for attaching this is for strength, but for attaching I can use the tomatoes to be attached to here, and if I want also I can attach them to these nets and the fencing wires. All in all, it looks good. I'm now having my potatoes here also. These are the early potatoes from that point to here, Casablanca early potato. I added another 2 bags of the compost on the previous level of the thing, so I don't need to earth it up. It's already earthed up. The same here and this side. And I have now early potatoes here growing. So this was our potato patch. Now I use the rest of that available now there in that corner, you see, to grow potatoes also. So Sharpo Miro and Desiree and Picasso. And we will see how it is. On the side we have also I may use a similar structure probably to build a fruit cage. There's a soft fruits there. And this is the Iranian medlar. You see that in May they come in flower. They're beautiful. So again, I emphasize the fact that you have to strengthen this structure. It's not strong. No polytunnel is strong enough. Even the commercially built ones, they're not strong enough to stand on their own. So what you do, you brace them. These are the braces that I have used, and these are the cross. These make you almost earthquake proof, those crosses here. You see an example here. So we have to make it strong enough. At that end, actually, I built a frame of wood and put a cheap plastic that I had on it. Then on top of it, I had also clear plastic. I used that, but then I covered all of that with this 2 meter by 4 meter polythene that I had for gazebo, and the result is a very strong thing. And it's warm here inside. Outside is cold, freezing, and this inside here is lovely and warm. And we are in the early May, so I'm already late for many things, but inside here I'm early because it's warm. And all in all, I think that what it cost me, 350 was the whole structure, but with the free wood that I had, didn't cost me anything. Cable ties probably around £40, and the polythene around this polythene is very strong, stronger and thicker than the polythene that you get. The weight of it is 22 kilograms, all the three, 22 kilograms weight, pushing down the whole structure to the ground. So that is very strong and sturdy. Since I put the polythene, I feel that it's stronger and sturdier, and the result is this structure. Hopefully it will last the wind that we have in the autumn, the hurricanes and the cyclones, tropical cyclones coming to the UK. We will see how it is. The result is this structure, and I think in total it cost me 350, £100, and another £50, £500. If I wanted to buy this 6 meter by 3 meter with all the braces and the polythene and all that additional stuff, and the soil and compost and everything, it would have cost me around easy 1,200, even probably more. And I have yet to do all of that difficult way, because you have to pull the polythene. That is very difficult. I have already done such a thing for chicken coop. The chickens are already all right in it, and it didn't move in the storms that we had.